We have to bring them into you naturally, not with drugs. Brother Michael, Eddie was talking to you. What are your thoughts?
Well, she just scientifically explained my whole journey. you know,
Will you explain it less scientifically? What resonated with you? Because what I heard, and I'm not an engineer, let me just state that for the record, is that there was some past trauma when you was young. You was like, let me pick up this marijuana, and from there, life went a different direction.
well, of course, there's been a lot of trauma growing up in DC metro area. Just that urban experience. You face a lot of different things. For us, I was 10 years old. My cousin, he used to come over the weekends. So one weekend he came over and he said, "Look what I got." And we was like, "What's that?" He was 9, I was 10, my brother was 11. He said, "I don't know, but Daddy be rolling it up and smoking it." And that's how that journey began, right? But what I hear, I've learned over time, the mind is where all the power is. You know what I mean? And the thinking is what produces the action. The action is what shapes the habit, and the habit is what shapes the character. And so, by understanding that the two natures, this physical aspect and this spiritual aspect, just knowing that they're both there, you know what I'm saying? It gives a more clear understanding of what I'm dealing with, mind over matter, things of that nature,
Well, what steps did you take that I know it had an impact on you, but obviously it didn't lead you straight from where you were straight into the mosque.
Exactly. And so, which speaks to where there you go. Which speaks to exactly where I was. I was 19, but at the same time, I had gotten myself involved with drug usage. And at that point in my life, I was really very self-destructive. I had gone from weed to drinking and smoking and alcohol and snorting coke, all of that, right? But at that point in my life, that monster, crack cocaine, had a serious grip on me, And so the reading of the autobiography of Malcolm X was imposing on what was there, And so naturally, after coming into that kind of knowledge, all of the things that I was reading about our contributions to civilization and things of that nature, it was blowing my mind. And at the same time, it was forcing me, helping me to change, Now, at the time, because of my condition, right around that time was when the dope busters were starting to hit the news.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. What solutions would you say Walking the Road to Recovery, 9 Steps in Motion provides for those that have problems with dealing with addiction or struggling with addiction? What solutions would you say that you can provide via your story and your book?
Yes, sir. I like the way DJ Rockwell, he read the book, man, and he said, what I like about this book, bro, Michael, it's just like a walk in the park. It's like you walking in the park, man, with your brother, man, just telling the story. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what makes it so. That's what makes it real, and that's what makes it receivable. Because like I say, I'm opening my chest up. I'm telling you what happened. I'm telling you I got caught up. You know what I'm saying? And then Allah blessed me to recall the steps that we took. We had shut down to renovate, and a sister was in there helping us clean up and things of that nature. But I know her, she knows me, and she told me about her situation, so she knows about my situation. So she asked me a question. She said, when you stop using crack, when you stop using drugs, how did you get rid of the crazy? You know what I'm saying? So she asked me this question. Now I'm saying to myself, now I know her situation. See, you can't play with nobody when it comes to that. You can't, it can't be philosophical. It gotta be real. You know what I'm saying? And so while I started talking to her, all of the steps that's in the book, make the decision, find the love, out with the old, in with the new, process the data, you know, be patient with the process, focus on today, know where you're going, stay relevant. In my conversation with her, it's like the steps was just laying out. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I knew it was time to write the book. I said, man, it's time to write the book. Because the way Allah blessing you to get us to this sister right now, and she feeling it, I'm playing with her. And so I think, you know, the fact that it's real, it's not textbook. It's really what happened, you know? And I'm giving it to you just like that. And I believe that's what makes it, that's what'll make it effective. It's just like a recipe. If you got a cake recipe, it's gonna come with instructions. Now, it's gonna give you all of the measurements of all of the ingredients. Now, you could think that you got it like that. Throw these ingredients together and throw it in the oven, and it's gonna come out tasting good like a cake. Bro, if you don't follow them instructions and do it exactly in the order that it's telling you to do it, you're gonna put some garbage out the oven, I promise you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And so that's what this book is like. It's like a recipe. You know what I
Asking
mean?
me this question is serious, so I can't play with her when I answer. And there was a brother with her too, and you know, and I knew he needed to hear it too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could see, you know, and so when I started talking, the passion was so great. It was therapeutic, man, and it was like every step in my book was just boom, 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 just dropping it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, Brother Josh, People Podcast, had me on his podcast. And so he got to talking to me about my beginnings and things. So it came out. It was right there on my head. So it came out. And I could tell by some of the things that he was saying, you know what? It's time to write this book.
So now, but I look at the paper because it's a perfect line to this. You were the opposite. You went deep into the scriptures and extracted some points to have me like, wow, I never thought about it like that. You pull out quotes from the Honorable Louis Farrakhan and put it smack in our face. You said something in particularly, you quoted the book of Romans that dealt with the duality of man and the struggle of the soul and the flesh. Yes. It blew my mind. So Mark, with that in mind, please answer that question.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, the Quran talks about how Allah made all the creation subservient to us. It made creation to serve us. You know what I'm saying? And like Dr. Keith was saying, like Reverend Wooster used to say this: you have to pray as if everything depends on God, but you have to work as if everything depends on you. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, if you pray and then you get up from your prayer and do nothing about your prayer, you are your prayer.
Come on, man.
So that's just empty words, you know. That's just you just running your mouth, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, and that Romans 7, that's exactly what finally gave me some understanding, because I was saying what everybody else was saying. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. God is in me, with me, through me, for me. Where God is, there can be no imperfection. I'm saying all this. Why this shit ain't working for me? You know what I'm saying?
On.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, but when my late uncle, Paul Armstrong, Allah rest his soul, he pointed me to Romans 7, man. And he said, read Romans 7, and then we're going to talk about it. You know, and that was the first time that somebody ever took a scripture where my particular situation was concerned and we were gonna get some understanding out of it. You know what I'm saying? And
Right,
that's where that whole, when I would do good, evil is present. So I found myself warring within my members. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first time that I came into contact with the reality of the duality, the difference between flesh and spirit. This ain't but a series of urges and appetites. That's all it is. I want what I want, and I want it right now. That's all this is. You know what I'm saying? But what governs it is what's in here. You know what I'm saying? But then it's got to move from here to the heart.
Right.
See, if it's just words, it's just lip service. But see, the heart pump the lifeblood through the veins. So once you take it from your head to your heart, then you can get something out of it.
Come on, man.
And so,
Mike, wow. Let me give both of y'all a round of applause for that last